Hello friends, my greetings to everyone. I am Seema and I head Business Analysis Practices at Eisenbridge. I welcome you all on this segment of Eisenbridge webinar series, and topic of today's session is delivering value to customers using value proposition. Value proposition is a problem to solution fit, what problem we are trying to solve and what solution we are providing. It helps us to discover what business benefits that project will bring to the organization. So, before commencing the topic, I would like to know my audience and their expectation using few polls. And my first question is related to your role in the organization. It is important to know what are the business benefits and how your role can deliver business benefits. Each role is important in achieving the business benefits. I'm closing the poll and sharing the results with you. Okay, so majority of our audience are belongs to project management and program management profile, and 25% audience belongs to business analysis, project leader, and very few related to PMO, and we are not having any profile related to developers and testers. Great. So next question. As you all know that we are in education and we are helping professionals for various Scrum and PMI certifications. So I would like to know if you are targeting any of these certificates in next 3 months. Around 28% people are looking for PMP certification, and 17% are looking for PMI ACP, and around 39% looking for CSP, and rest are looking for SAFE. Great. So my another query is related to customers. What we know about customers before moving towards value proposition, it is important to see who are our customers. So friends, what do you think? Does customer means only end users who buy goods or services? 83% voted no, and 17% voted for yes. Okay, so during the webinar, we will discover the different categories of customers. My next question is related to how we can define the value of customers. You can choose more than one options. As part of your project execution, how you define values in terms of financial returns, in terms of end user satisfaction, and or in terms of identification of critical features. 92% participants do believe that value is defined in terms of end user satisfaction. 68% do believe that value is defined in terms of financial returns, and 52% do believe that value is defined in terms of identification of critical features. Well, value can be defined from all these perspectives, and which key area is important we will discover during the webinar. So friends, session is always directed by the expectation of audience, and I will try to present this webinar on the basis of these polls. Now look at the agenda. First, we will discover the background of value proposition for customers and what valuation tools and techniques we can use to discover the value proposition. And Afterwards, we will conclude what is value proposition exactly. And in last segment, I will present a brief introduction of PMI PBA certification, and at last I will take the queries, and I request you to all the participants to type your question in question box, and I will take those questions at the end of session. Value proposition for customers. So let's begin by entering a question. Who is customer? Customer is beneficiary or recipient of business benefits or outcomes. If you're part of a project team and involved in developing a mobile app for supermarket to deliver groceries and fresh vegetables to end users, and if you look at the key stakeholder groups outside of your project team, what could be the key stakeholder groups in this case? Business owners, sponsors to your project, business partners, and end users. Business owners are beneficiary of financial returns and increase in sale, revenue, market share using your mobile app. Sponsors who are the top management in your company and beneficiary of the financial returns or contract amount by delivering your mobile app. Business partners could be who are developing few features with your technical team and beneficiary of the financial contracting amount. End users are the beneficiary of the services from your mobile application. So, customer doesn't mean only end users who buy products and services. Customers, the actual meaning of customer is the beneficiary or recipient of business benefits or outcomes. Now, what is value proposition? Value proposition is an opinion or a statement of customers about what is important or actually matters to them. In simple words, value proposition is a promise of value. If we talk about end users, value proposition is a message to them about the primary reason how your mobile app will help them in fast and easy searching and fast and easy delivery of groceries. If we talk about the business owners, they may want to look at when the mobile app will be launched in the market and what is the payback period. If you talk about the business partners, they may want to look at when they will get their financial benefits or contract amount, at what point of time they are getting paid for their efforts. So value proposition is very important, and here we need to identify the value proposition for each key stakeholder group. As a first step, identify different customer categories. Different customer category identification is very easy because you are looking at outside of your project team, key stakeholder groups in terms of sponsor, in terms of end customers, in terms of business partners. These are easy to identify. Now, what is the next step? Next step is to identify the key areas of values for customers. Few key areas could be the financial benefits and user satisfaction and service delivery time. You have identified the key stakeholder groups and key areas of values for each key stakeholder groups. Now, what is the next step? Develop value proposition of each key area. Means develop a combo of each customer group and what they value. If we develop a combo of the business owner and financial benefits, what could be the value proposition? Application payback period should be 1 year, should not be 1 year. And if we develop a combo of end user satisfaction and financial benefits, you can get your groceries at 50% discount. This is an example of the value proposition for end user and for the financial benefits key area. Service delivery time. It is also another important key area of value. For end user, what they value in terms of delivery of time, they should be able to get their groceries within 3 hours of order. If we fulfill this requirement, it is value to end customers. So, identify the key stakeholder groups, and for each key area of value of each customer, we develop the value proposition. So what is important in developing value proposition? Know your customer. Develop the critical characteristics of your customers for each segment. Customers are defined by their jobs, benefits, and pains. Jobs, what activities they are trying to complete and what problems they are trying to solve. Some jobs are critical and some jobs are trivial. What are the business benefits and financial outcomes or other outcomes which are important to customers, and what pains they are trying to eliminate by delivering the products and services. For your supermarket examples, pain could be the undesired cost. Supermarket is suffering for the huge cost of maintenance of parking area, and at the same time, end customers are also facing problem with the lack of parking space. So this is undesired cost, and your mobile app can help you to eliminate this pain. So you can come up with list of jobs which are important for your customers, different category of customers, list of benefits and list of pains, and they rate at same criteria that all are important. You need to work with them what is really matters to them, because they don't know what is really matters and what is really valued to them. As a project team member or as a project manager, you need to negotiate, you need to communicate, you need to influence them based on the agreement or consensus that what is really matters to them. And these jobs, pains and benefits describe your customers. So what is value proposition actually? It is a problem to solution fit or problem to market fit. What products and services you are developing and how it fit in the market. Market is defined by your customers. So for different categories, what you are promising for their jobs and for their benefits and for their pains. Again, there could be a list of jobs they want, list of benefits they want, and list of pains they want to eliminate from your solution. So you need to work with them what is really fit according to their desires, and you need to discover with them, you need to work with them. So what you develop in terms of job promised, benefits, pain relievers which fit to their requirements, actually valid requirements, and that is the value proposition. So as a project manager, you need to negotiate and develop a suitable value proposition that fits to all category of customers. If your product is good for your end users, but there is not a good return on investment, it is not a good value proposition. So value proposition is a fit that solve the problem in right way and delivers the desired benefits for each key area. So what makes a good value proposition? It should be clear. It should communicate what is it, for whom, and how it is useful. It can be read and understood in about 5 seconds. It should communicate the concrete results and how it is different or better than the competitors offer. Now, what is required for that? You need to work with the business owners and develop sales boosters. For example, you can develop value proposition like cancel anytime, get your order within 3 hours, easy returns. If you are developing these value proposition with business owners, then you need to direct your project efforts to enable these sales boosters technically. You need to develop project architecture accordingly. So if you are delivering value proposition, if you are committing to the value proposition, you need to design your project architecture which can help to deliver business benefits what are desired by different stakeholder categories. So you need to develop according to what is discovered from value point of view by different stakeholder groups. If you are working on the home page of mobile app and writing welcome to our mobile app, have you seen any mobile app where visitors are not welcome? So don't waste your precious attention in these useless lines. You need to develop value proposition at least on the homepage of mobile app and all the major entry point of your mobile app. So it will help to deliver the desired results and what is identified, and it will also help you to direct your project efforts to commit financial benefits or business benefits or end user satisfaction benefits. So what could be the valuation tools and tactics? Let's explore the tools for financial valuation to discover what is the financial viability of the project. You are not required to discover the financial viability of a project. You are just required to know them. What is return on investment expected by the business owners? Return on investment is the amount earned by your money. Means what is the money earned by your investment? If your return on investment is 0, you are at break-even point. If your return on investment is 100%, you have doubled your money. And if your return on investment is 50%, you got your all money back and plus 50% more. What is net present value? Net present value is a sum of discounted cash flow, where we bring all the future cash flow and inflow and outflow in present terms, and all the outflows are negative and all the inflows are positive. So if net present value is positive, project can be accepted. Higher the net present value, better the project is. Internal rate of return, rate at which we get our money back. So at internal rate of return, NPV is 0. If NPV is 0, it means your inflows are sufficient to manage your outflow and still you are earning a minimum interest rate. What is payback period? Payback period represents number of years required to recover your invested cash outflow. So these are the tools which can be used to discover the financial viability of a project. Tools for valuation of end user satisfaction. How to identify the end user satisfaction? Kanno model is one of them. Kanno model helps to visualize the customer satisfaction with the presence or absence of a feature. Some features are linear. As much we implement those features, customer satisfaction increase linearly. For example, if your mobile app load in 20 seconds, customer is not happy. And if you reduce it by 5 seconds, customer feels happy. Threshold features which are very important in the release of your mobile app, and if these features are not available in your application, you cannot launch your mobile application. And you need to discover all the threshold features because sometimes customers don't know that how to explain them because these features are very obvious. Some features are wow features. Wow features excite the customers and because they are not expecting these features. So Kanno model is very important to discover the critical characteristics of your application. Net Promoter Score is also important tool to identify the end user satisfaction. It helps to measure the product performance. When you launch your product, some becomes promoters and rate your product between 9 to 10. These are the customers who keeps buying. Passives who rate your product between 7 to 8 and can move towards your competitors. Detractors who rate your product between 0 to 6 and can damage your brand image. So we can use these tools to identify how we can discover the critical features of the application which can help to satisfy your end users. Other valuation tools, force field analysis. This tool is used to see which stakeholder groups are in favor of your application and which stakeholder groups are not in favor. If few key stakeholders are not in favor because they are not looking any value in the application, in that case, we need to discover what is the viability. We need to rethink it because we are considering the key stakeholder groups and their support is very important. SWOT analysis also helps to discover the high-level business requirements because it helps us to discover the situation internally and externally. We analyze our strength, internal strength and weaknesses and external opportunities and threats. If we are having sufficient skills to develop mobile app, it is a strength. And if we are not having, we need to develop training programs and these training programs comes in the project requirements. So SWOT analysis helps us to discover the high level important aspects which are valued to the project. Value stream map. When project is related to the development of processes or improvement of processes, what business owners do value? Business owners value that there should not be partially done work, there should not be unnecessary handoffs, there should not be task switching, unnecessary movements, because these are the activities which for which customers will not pay. Hence, these are not valued. So, this is a tool which helps us to analyze systematically which activities will not generate cash. Hence, it is an important tool to develop a value proposition. So, as a conclusion, value proposition is created based on the characteristics of different key stakeholder groups. For our project execution, we look at the outside of project team and develop different key stakeholder groups. Each key stakeholder groups see the project from different perspective. It is all influenced by their roles, because investors are always concerned about their return of investment. End users always concerned what they are getting and how you're providing business benefits which competitors are not providing, and partners are also concerned for the brand value and what they are getting after delivery of the products. So a good value proposition suits to all category of customers. If you are good in developing products and services, but your payback period is not good, then it is not a good value proposition. So you need to develop understanding of potential conflicts around all customer categories. You need to negotiate, you need to communicate with them to develop value proposition for each key area. Work with the business owners like easy cancellation, easy returns, and easy order process will help you to develop your solution technically, which can deliver the identified values for all key stakeholder groups. So, as a project manager or as a business analyst, you need to resolve potential conflicts. For that, you need to develop list of goals, and these list of goals will help you to work with these different key stakeholder groups. So now let's look at a brief overview of the Pmi Pba. It doesn't mean that this topic is only related to the Pmi Pba, because delivering business benefits is related to both business analysis and project management. This is a brief overview. Pmi Pba credential recognize an individual expertise in business analysis using BA tools and techniques to improve the overall success of projects. This is taken from the Pmi Pba handbook, and it is important to know that how we can use business analysis tools and techniques to improve the overall success of the project. This is the eligibility criteria of Pmi Pba certification. If you have secondary degree, approx 7,500 hours of BA experience is required. If you are having bachelor's degree, approx 4,500 hours of BA experience is required. And for that, you also need 2,000 hours of project team experience. This 2,000 hours of experience is included in 4,500 or 7,500. Why? Because business analysis also performed outside of the project boundary. It also includes pre-project analysis and post-evaluation activities. So, at least 2,000 hours of project team experience is needed for Pmi Pba certification. And you also need 35 contact hours PDU certificates, and we do provide this certificate. Cost of doing Pmi Pba certificate is $405 for Pmi members and $555 for non-Pmi members. 2,000 questions comes in the exam. and as a PMP, 4 hours is the duration, and you need to go to the Prometric Center. These are the 5 domains in the PMI PBA. Need assessment is related to the pre-project analysis, and major deliverable of need assessment is the approved business case. This business case serves as an input to the rest of the domain, and approximately 18% of questions comes from the need assessment domain. Planning, 20% questions, 22% questions comes from the planning domain, and approximately 35% questions comes from the analysis. Traceability and monitoring is related to the how you link your business need to the final deliverables, and approximately 15% questions comes from the traceability and monitoring. Evaluation includes approximately 10% of questions. If you would like to know more about PMI PBA certification, you can enroll to PMI PBA free introductory program from our website. Go to the eisenbridge.com, and from courses and PMI PBA section, you can find a link to enroll in this free program. Okay, so I'm done with the presentation and I'm ready to take questions. Okay, how customer is different from stakeholders? In general, we identify the customer, the beneficiary of business outcome. And what is the stakeholder? How we define the stakeholders? A person or individual or group of people or organization who can impact or be impacted by the outcome. So, in general, the stakeholders is a person or group who can impact or be impacted, and customer is identified as a beneficiary. So, for a project, these things are interrelated, because if somebody is impacted, obviously he or she can also get the benefits of outcomes. So customers and stakeholders are interrelated in the project environment. However, from perspective or from definition point of view, these are two different groups. Is this topic useful in PMP exam under which process? Okay, yes, this topic is useful because now PMI understood that identification of business benefit is very important for the project team. If they are not aware about what are the desired outcome, their efforts will not be directed. That's why the PMI is changing their PMP certification from January 2016, where it is clearly mentioned that how your efforts are aligned with the strategic objectives. So few changes have been made, like in develop project charter, where first in current edition we know that project manager is responsible to develop a project charter. Now it is communicated that project manager participate in development of project charter with the business stakeholders to ensure the strategic alignment with the business outcomes. So it is important. Okay, how do we ascertain whether we are delivering proper value proposition to the customer without overdoing, underdoing things? Okay, yes, it is challenging, because sometimes customer know that what they want, sometimes they don't know, and sometimes they know but they don't know how to prioritize based on the desired outcomes. So you need to work with them, and gradually based on the results you need to adjust your features and functions. You need for example, if you are identified few features as delighters, wow features, and after some time if everybody is providing those features, these features can become threshold features, important features. So you need to work with this customers, and you need to work how things keep changing in the environment. So developing value proposition is very challenging, and for that you need to work with business stakeholders during development of the project. Are there only two models available to measure and user satisfactions? We can use many other models like MOSCO. These are only few examples. MOSCO means what are the must-have features, what are could have, should have features. Means the thing is, we need to understand what are the critical characteristics of your application, what make things easy to deliver value in terms of various key areas. That is more important. So you can use brainstorming also to work with the stakeholders when you don't know what are the important features to deliver value to your end customers. Kanno model and net promoter scores are only key tools which we can use. You can use many elicitation tools. You can use also focus group where you involve experienced people who know about the product, and they can help you to discover the critical characteristics of your feature or your application. Performance is also a threshold features to measure customer satisfaction. Yes, I just given some example. There could be many criteria to know the customer satisfaction. You need to know your customer. You need to do some surveys. You need to interview your customers. You need to discover the critical characteristics of your customer. So, if the performance is the threshold feature, yes, it is a criteria to evaluate the customer satisfaction. Can you please tell something about Kanno model? Okay. Kanno model is used to visualize customer satisfaction by the presence or absence of a feature. Right? We categorize all the features in linear, threshold, and wow features. Linear features are those which increase the customer satisfaction linearly. As much we implement these features, it increases the customer satisfaction linearly. Right? And good part is that the customer, most of the time, customers are aware about what can make happy, because these features are always in the mind of customers. So discovery of these features is very easy as compared to threshold features and wow features. Why? Threshold features looks very obvious, and sometimes customers don't talk about them, because these, if we talk about the mobile application, if your mobile application is not having searching features, it can make your customer dissatisfied. But if searching is available, they may not feel good about it because it is obvious. It is general to have. Wow features, customers are not expecting these features, and if you implement these features, they become excited about it. For example, if you talk about your mobile application or your website, signing up through Google account, it can make things easy for your customer, and they feel excited about it. But sometimes these categories of features may swap, because after 6 months or after 1 year, wow features can become threshold features, because everybody is providing these features, right? So during the development period, you need to be aware the how the category of these features keeps changing. So Kanno model helps you to work with the customer to know what is threshold features, what is wow features, and what are the linear features. When you launch your application, all of the threshold features are needed, and you can use some linear features to make customer happy and some wow features to add spice in your launching. Most of the time customer don't talk about the threshold features and wow features, and if you are not having the knowledge of industry, in that case it become a good challenge. Thank you friends for your participation. Thanks for joining in, and we have reached the time box once again. Thank you very much.